I'm hearing things. About the third time I realized, uh-oh, I know who's talking to me. This is from God, and it's not about the horses. We get lots of awards. It's not about the horses and the animals. They're just a venue. We reach out to the special needs community, senior citizens, veterans with PTSD, moms with teenagers. And that unconditional love of the animals is just, it's an amazing ministry. It's a wonderful way to show God's love. Yeah, it is great. It is great. And I encourage you all, I'm right on the way to the wine country in Temecula, so you can stop by on the way up, on the way back. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Patty. And what is it, 25 acres? And a lot of those horses come from Santa Anita Racetrack, I believe, right? So, you know, she calls it what, animal hospice? Horsey hospice? Yeah, that's what they go to give them a dignified last years of their life. So I really super appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna basically go through this next program real quickly. Carmel Foster, I do want to recognize her. Carmel's sitting somewhere back there. Carmel was very, very brave this year, okay? So I gave her the Brave and Stunning Story of the Year award, because she actually was the citizen testimony for a very, very bad law called AB5. And it affected my friend Peter's industry back there, where Carmel was actually coerced by some prominent Democrats to just read off a testimony that she didn't write herself. And she was not very politically savvy at the time, so she went with it. And that became the single sole testimony that Lorena Gonzalez used to cram down AB5, which hurts independent contractors from making a living. So this basically was a money grab by Sacramento Democrats, the supermajority, to then basically stop people from Ubering or Lyfting because they felt that, oh, we're protecting them and they need benefits. No, some people just want to work. By the way, Tuan is right here. I just want to shout out Tuan. He's passing out. That is the owner of this restaurant, and what a tireless servant. Thank you for being brave. But back to our Brave and Stunning of the Year. Carmel, we so appreciate your bravery and what you have done, and we love you so much. And thank you for coming all the way down from Northern California to be here today. And we just, we want to get your story out, because what happened was the assemblyman that helped engineer this, Phil Ting, basically just went up and did an apology in front of media for one day and stopped the news from covering just how deep the scandal is. So we're trying to get the word out, and SJ and Vadim and I threw an event at Gay DePerio's house. Gay, we love you for hosting. Thank you. And we got to hear her story unfiltered for an hour. And it was really amazing. You can catch it on YouTube. And so thank you for being brave and stunning. Really appreciate it. And we're going to keep fighting, okay? Next, I just want to recognize these people. Raziel Arcega, a great friend of mine. She's back there, and you know, she is such a fighter for health and wellness causes, and we're doing an event on June 10th in Newport Beach at Dr. Demas's office on Filipino health, and how a lot of Filipino cuisine has very oily stuff, and there's a high incidence of diabetes, and also because of all the sugar content. So we're getting out in the community and waking people up on this. So thank you, Raz. Sonia Green, Patriots for Freedom, my great new friend that we're doing a podcast with, and now talking about history. Both her and I are history buffs, so we're talking about you know, all this woke stuff and basically countering it with, you know, what is Black history? What is Asian history? And let's talk about that, and let's not make the same mistakes we did. So get to know Sonia back there. She's going to get an award there that Joy's passing out. So thank you, Joy, for passing the awards out. Crystal Jade, she's tucked in this corner here, but she is definitely not understated, okay? She is out there throwing rallies. She was involved with Bikers for Trump. How cool. She's a really cool character. And actually, one of our members, Daniel Lopez, at our Stop Asian Hate rally was like, whispered to me, he's like, who is that girl? She is amazing. Because she is. She's a dynamite speaker and just a great activist for the cause. So thank you for all your years and for helping me in the start of AIB to get this to where it is today. Crystal, you're my sister. I love you. Bob Walters. You know, come up real quickly, okay? Because Bob Walters deserves a little, you gotta see him. He's such a great fit for our organization. He has a great company called Freight Management Inc., so he's pretty much in the supply chain logistics business too. And he's also, you know, as far as activism, him and I have like basically exact same, you know, interests, especially in education. So he's got a few words to say for us real quick. Thanks.
Yes, I'm chairman of the committee to Get School Choice Initiative, which is due to come out in September. But I do have brochures and I have the petition. It's really not a petition, it's a listing for volunteers, and you fill it out. I'll be outside and you can keep it and send it in. And then when the petition comes out, it'll be mailed to you. So we hope we get all of your support, because it's going to be a tough battle, especially after we get it on the ballot, which is going to be a battle in itself. So thanks for your help.
Thank you so much, Bob. Really appreciate you. Ben Yu, a great friend, okay? Just this guy that, you know, he ran for office. I helped him out with running for office, but, you know, we didn't end up on the same side in the end. But you know what I noticed about Ben is after that run, he continued working for the community. He continued doing these great things, you know, and he really won over my heart. And you know, I just love Ben so much. So Ben, keep up the great work and what you're doing in Lake Forest. Keep up, you know, the stuff you're doing for the community. And you know, he has this company now called Elstone Solutions, and what they're doing is they're doing a lot of the PPP and all that stuff, you know, for the hospital gowns and helping the first responders. And he's donated a lot to the community, and we've seen that the Lake Forest Chamber of Commerce, I believe, recognized you for this. So thank you for all that you're doing, because that comes from your heart, and I really appreciate it. Okay, Pastor Harley, who you heard from earlier. Pastor Harley is an unsung hero. Okay, he's got this ministry called Ecclesias, and he's been out there too, you know, protecting us in a lot of our events. So when we throw these rallies and there's Antifa and BLM there, Pastor Harley is there with his buddies to make sure that they're their angels covering us while we do this work. So thank you for all that you're doing, and I really appreciate you. Tony Moon, one of our new members right here. Tony Moon, he's a rooftop Korean, so he was there during the riots, and now he's aged and older, but he's back in the fight, right? So he was one of those young guys up there in 1993, but now big 2A guy, and you should check out his Twitter. Unfiltered, awesome, and he's getting the word out, and we're doing lots of events now with self-defense training, and we're working with our good friend Elvira here to get into the Hispanic community to teach them about self-defense. So we're super excited to launch that in the next few months. So and we're going to get into the pockets of LA where we have many conservative Hispanics that have not yet registered to vote. So we're going to wake them up, and we're going to get them politically activated. Thank you, Elvira. Thank you, Tony. Okay, Mike Pistano, you see back there, Mike Pistano has done so many COVID workshops with us, and I just want to recognize him for all the work that he's doing. He's also named Iron Eagle Mike, and he was on my show with Josie, who our keynote speaker just the other day, sharing his wisdom. So we just love Mike so much. Keep up the good work educating the community on holistic health. Thank you. Benjamin Yip, where are you, Benjamin? Benjamin Yip has a really cool business called A-Tree. So I want to give a shout out to that, because it basically says be seen with video, and a lot of businesses that do not have the know-how to advertise their business with video, talk to him. He's the go-to person. Rachel Gunther, my Filipino-American partner patriot of the year. Thank you so much for all the work you've been doing. Thank you for standing up against the LA GOP and all of these establishment organizations that want to squash our productivity. We go out there, we throw rallies with hundreds of people. They wish they had our audience, okay? And it's because we build relationships. We're not out there to try to play politics with anyone. We just engage the community on the issues that matter to them. She was the one who inspired me to go out and picket in front of Gascon's house, just so you know. And a bunch of these blue-haired people were like, "Ooh, that's not really polite." And I said, no, that's what we need to do to get people's attention and get the media. Rachel, all credit goes to you for making that happen. Thank you so much. Take Kim, where are you at? Take Kim, is he here? There he is. Stand up, Tay. He's very tall, okay? So don't hit your head on the ceiling. But Tay Kim has been a great, he's another person that understands the media game we're playing. So in the Korean American community, he's getting out the word. He's also a translator for a lot of our local elected officials that, like Stephen Choi, and getting the word out, to the broader community. So Tay, thank you for all that you've been doing, in the media and playing that game with us. Okay, finally, not last but not least, in the Chinese American community, Mei Mei Huff, my good friend for so many years, wife of our former state Senate minority leader, Bob Huff. Mei Mei is just, tireless and, helped me with Prop 16. We didn't have much love for the people running that campaign, but we went out and did our own efforts and really showed that the grassroots is a collective of people coming together, and we should all be able to share our gifts without some campaign calling themselves official and stopping people from doing what they're doing. So thank you, Mei Mei, for inspiring me with that bravery to do my thing and to support me and uplift me. And I just want to do the same for you because I love you so much. Thank you, Mei Mei. All right. Let's move on now. I want to bring up our special guest and such. I've admired Chris Smith, our representative. He's not our representative. He's a representative for the New Jersey 4th District, but he is also the most prolific bill producer or bill writer in Congress. And what is this? Your 21st term now? Yeah, 21st term. So in a state that turns so blue, you are a guy that's getting stuff done and has endeared yourself to the constituents. So I am so honored that you have come here all the way from New Jersey, and thank you for being here today. Please say a few words.
Well, thank you very much, and I will be brief. I've learned a lesson about brevity. I chair a number of caucuses in the Congress, the anti-human trafficking, the Lyme disease caucus, 15 of them in all. Well, I was asked to give a keynote speech recently at a Lyme disease event in Washington, and there were about 1,000 people there, so I asked the woman who was running it, how long do you want me to speak? She said, the keynote, make it an hour. I took the full hour, worst mistake I ever made. I talked about all of the nuances of that hideous disease, which disproportionately hurts my state and the Northeast, but it's hurting everyone all across the country. So when I was done, there were a lot of families there. This little girl, about 4 years old, walked up and she said, "Mister, your speech was long and boring." A couple minutes later, her father came up and said, I don't know what you two are talking about, but just want you to know my daughter is at that awkward age where she just repeats whatever she hears. So I haven't spoken over 5 minutes since. Mark, thank you for, what a, almost like a United Nations, people from all over the world, people who are producing, giving back, many of whom escaped tyranny in countries like Burma, where the Slork and other members of the junta have done horrific things in Burma. And I don't call it Myanmar, it is Burma. We got people from Vietnam. I've gotten my Vietnam Human Rights Act passed 3 times in the U.S. House of Representatives. And 3 times, the United States Senate killed it. John Kerry put holds on it in previous Congresses. We have it now introduced again. Michelle Steele and Young Kim are co-sponsors of my bill. It's a very comprehensive bill to hold that dictatorship to account for its egregious human rights abuses, particularly in the area of religious freedom. Yesterday, we remembered the terrible, horrific slaughter that occurred at Tiananmen Square. Many of us watched with hope and expectation as the students took to the streets, believing that this was a further manifestation of what had happened in Eastern Europe with the Berlin Wall, with the Soviet Union, Romania, and all these other countries that matriculated from horrible dictatorships under communist rule to democracies. We're still trying to get Russia right, but there are challenges there. But they moved away from communism. So many countries in Asia today, especially the People's Republic of China, continue to grossly maltreat its own people. I've chaired 72 congressional hearings on human rights in China alone. I just had one 3 weeks ago on what we're calling the Genocide Olympics, because of what they're doing in Xinjiang.
Shame on them.
Shame on them. For what they're doing against the Uyghurs, what they've done against Hong Kong, and Xi Jinping, who made promises to the International Olympic Committee in 2015 that they would adhere to human rights. And once again, the big liar, Xi Jinping, turned out to be simultaneously planning the genocide against the Uyghurs in Xinjiang. I mean, it just takes your breath away. We're trying to get the Biden administration to put pressure on the IOC and on, we're doing it as well. We invited them to the hearing, they didn't come, and to get our businesses to say, we're not going to be complicit in these heinous crimes against humanity that are going on as we meet here tonight. So please keep in your prayers when Patty, is it Patty? When Patty said that everything that she's doing is a ministry, I believe that politics is a ministry. I believe that working in your business is a ministry. You give it first to God and ask to do it all in His glory. You know, apart from Him, we can do nothing. We can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. And I truly believe that that's when we get the outcomes. That's when we get the consequences. So I would encourage you to be praying during this critical time in our own history, critical time in the world history, for the innocent and the vulnerable. I got involved in politics 48 years ago as a freshman in college. I met my wife in the pro-life movement, and that's how I first got involved. I was director of the New Jersey Right to Life Committee, and I saw firsthand how unfortunately, how terrible the abortion industry not only treats the child who is dismembered and killed or chemically poisoned, but how they treat the women. And anyone who has worked, and many of you I'm sure have, with pregnancy care centers or post-abortion outreaches, know beyond any reasonable doubt, it is the pro-life movement, it is the church that loves the woman no matter what, and says there is a way to reconciliation with our God. We serve a God of mercy, and He reaches out to these women. The abortion side just wants to say, you did right. You exercised your constitutional rights. And many women have a hard time who have gone through the abortion to reconcile that in their own lives. My wife and I work with Silent No More Awareness Campaign very closely. Again, a ministry of women, all of whom have had abortions. Every one of them. Alveda King, Martin Luther King's niece, had 2 abortions. Would march in the streets on behalf of abortion rights. Now she is solidly pro-life. And she asked the question in a speech not so long ago, how does my uncle's dream survive if we murder the children and abandon their mothers? And that's exactly what the abortion culture does. Now Biden, sadly, and I'm not being political here, used to be pro-life. Used to be. Not totally, but he was for the Hyde Amendment. He did not want funding for abortion. He did a complete flip-flop during the campaign. And last week, produced his budget, which eviscerates the Hyde Amendment and all the other abortion funding amendments that have been in law, in the case of Hyde, for almost 50 years. Just keep this in mind. One of the speakers did mention Unplanned, and what a book, what a movie. A woman who for 8 years was a Planned Parenthood director, and when she was brought in to do an ultrasound guided abortion, saw the baby on the screen, and here she is for 8 years, a part of all of this. She walked out the door when she saw that child dismembered right before her very eyes. I read her description of that in a floor debate, and the Democrats on the other side, including one from California, went very much against that description. It was like, this is the reality which we close our eyes and look askance. These children are dying. These mothers are being wounded. So please pray that Biden will have a reversal of course back to where he used to be. He's promoting it globally. He's promoting it domestically. And again, even public opinion is on our side. 58% of all Americans say they don't want public funding for abortion. 58. And that's the most recent Barris poll. So we are in a very critical 2 years. When Obama came in, and I'll finish on this, when Obama came in, he had both the House and the Senate, and some very bad outcomes occurred. When Clinton got in, he had both the House and the Senate under his control, and again, very bad outcomes occurred. There was no check, no balance. And we may have the filibuster still in the Senate. That's still an open question. I think it will be intact. So this more egregious legislating will not happen. So I would ask you to pray. Pray for the people who are suffering for their faith. I was with a group of people for the Tiananmen Square massacre. One man spent 16 years in prison. Wei Jingsheng, the father of the democracy movement, spent multiple years. These people have backbones of steel and kindness, and all they want is for the people in the countries they left, China, Vietnam, North Korea, so many other, Burma, to enjoy the fundamental human rights that everybody's entitled to. And I really believe that tyranny and human rights abuse need not be forever, as long as we pray, fast, and work hard to end it. Thank you.
Amazing. You can tell Chris is a doer. You know, that's what this organization is about. I'm so tired of those talkers, talk. This guy gets stuff done. He gets bills through. He's not out there like, I'm sorry, Liz Cheney trying to get some sort of attention on, on taking certain positions. Chris just quietly does his work, and, we've watched him for, 4 decades now, just getting stuff done. And what a great office. Piero, thank you for being, the backbone of that office as well. And we're excited to work with you on different initiatives in the future, whether it's autism, and as you know, Patty has this great sanctuary there to rehabilitate the, victims of human trafficking, and also children with autism, adults with autism. So there's a lot of resources that you can plug into. I'd love to work with you guys on it here, on those, and especially human rights in China. I mean, I'm just appalled at how quickly we have forgotten what's going on in China, because suddenly we have a majority party that is buddy-buddy with them and doing business with them and intermingling to a point that there's no distinction between America and Chinese institutions at this point. That must stop. We must go back to addressing the human rights tragedies with the Uyghurs, with all these different groups that are being targeted. I am shocked. The Falun Gong, I mean, to vilify these people, it just breaks my heart. So I'm excited to work with you. Let's move on now to our final two speakers who came all the way from Las Vegas. Can you hit the button? Yeah. Dr. Denise Tropia, I just loved when she came on our radio show, because she just started, talking about health and wellness the way I totally see health and wellness, and how our org sees, from people like Mike, Raziel, all the people that are super active with us on the Health and Wellness Committee, Cheryl, so I think you'll love hearing from Dr. Denise. Dr. Denise, come on up, say a few words. I'm just honored that you came down, and thanks for being kind of the catalyst to bring a troop down here to Orange County, all the way from Las Vegas. I know that drive is pretty treacherous, so.
And I didn't have to do it.
Wonderful.
I had a seasoned Californian do it.
I love it. Thank you, Denise.
Thank
So great to have you.
Thank you. Well, good evening, everyone. It's a real pleasure. A pleasure when I can be invited somewhere to spread what I do. And my passion is for all of you to empower your health. You can read my little bio. Yeah, my story is I came from the East Coast. I've been in Vegas for 30 years, had a practice for 27 years. And then when I walked in one day and I said, I'm not aligned, I have to close it down. I'm a solo practitioner, I'm a dinosaur, but there's more for me. More for me in a way where I can lead others to empower themselves, empower their health. Be educated, get the answers and the true answers. That's what we want now, the truth. Meeting all of you tonight and just seeing you and seeing the community and what you all have in common, let's all pay it forward and help one another. This time of this pandemic, or whatever you want to call it, really had that silver lining for a lot of us, whether we like it or not. It really turned that page of what do I want and what can I do for the people around me. And that's what it's all about in life. So as I go into my part 2 journey of life,
I have a wellness company that I've been working on for a lot of years now. But then I've always had my mainstream medical practice that, yeah, it made me money, paid the bills, put my kids through school. So I did what I had to do. But isn't that the way life is? You do what you have to do, then you say, now, what do I want to do? And this is it. And this is where I'm at. We're launching a alternative website. It's all proven alternative modalities called the Triple Crown of Health and Wellness. And what it's really doing is, it's letting people think, what do they need for their optimal health? And what things are out there? Because there's a lot out there, but it may not work for everyone. And that's where people like myself come in to bridge. So I have a team of people that I work with. And what we do is, we just seek out how we can help people. And that's what it's all about. So I really appreciate Mark inviting me, coming with Josie, that I've known for a lot of years in Las Vegas. We always seem to team up together in some form. We were in the Lions Club together, because I've done a lot of work with diabetes over the years and the complications thereof. But now I can take it to another level and help prevent that, and helping people to regain and maintain their health. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Mark.
All right. Thank you so much, Chris. All right. So our keynote speaker for tonight is someone that's actually super, super culturally impactful. She was the one who birthed Joe Coy. Joe Coy couldn't be with us tonight. Joe Coy is really, it's amazing because, you know, I'm a financial planner, estate planner. I went to see one of my clients down in Southgate, which is like deep in the South Central ghetto.
No, it's not. Cut it out. Southeast Los Angeles.
Okay, whatever. It is like pretty.
Easy.
Yeah, it's the barrio, okay. And I went in. I know I'm just trying to piss off Elvira right now. She's gonna punch me later. But my client was like, you know, they're like, oh, you're Filipino? Do you know Joe Coy? And I was like, okay, that's a typical question that usually I would say, okay, you think that just because I'm Filipino, I would know every other Filipino out there, right? But no, in this case, I actually do know Joe Coy's mom. And I was like, well, his mom and I are on a radio show together every Monday. So I'm like, what a coincidence. But that really told me just how far his influence has reached. Because this was a Mexican family, okay? And, you know, what you'll know in the Los Angeles area is the Mexicans and Filipinos, we call it same, right? Like Joy would say. Because they're so close in how they look, and even some of our cultural customs that were, you know, we end up intermarrying and mixing, and so they knew a lot about Filipino culture. So we're just honored to have Josie, who really kind of exemplifies what our org is about. That's why I invited her to be a speaker. Our values are the same. Josie is also a proud, open conservative. So we are very, very honored to have someone be a voice on Las Vegas radio and waking up our community. So without further ado, the wonderful Josie Harrison. And I'll do the slides.
You might think why I'm holding to this lady, Miss Rachel Gunter, because 6 months ago I was diagnosed with infected peripheral vertigo. And I'm starting to fall with no a warning or anything like that. I will just fall. So I'm kind of scared because one night I was walking down the street in my area and my street was kind of slanted, and I'm telling you guys, I thought I'm gonna die that night. I started feeling like I'm gonna fall, and I was falling. In my mind, I thought I'm going to fall, but I was already falling. And I grabbed that handle of my car for the, you know, for my life. but I still have a bump on my head, scratch on my, I don't know how it happened. I broke my nails, but I did not let go of that handle. I'm telling you, I bang on that wall, I don't care. I've been holding to it. But anyways, I have no antibiotics or any medication, but I am taking balance therapy, and I hope I can get rid of this daggone thing. Thank you very much. No, it's okay. I can stay. If you can stay with me. Anyways, I'm Josie Harrison. I am from Las Vegas, Nevada. And as Mark said, we are both on the radio. I have 2 radio shows in Nevada. One is Oras ng Ligaya, which means an hour of happiness. This is an old show in the Philippines that I would like to really stay afloat in Las Vegas. It is a program whereby I invite singers, you know, the kind of legend one or the kind of not known anymore. And I would like them to, you know, kind of revive their history as a singer or an actor or whatever. So they love it. They love that program. So, and then I am watching the political arena right now, and I noticed that we conservatives doesn't have a platform whereby we can just say what we want, Amen. What we think of what's going on, and how it is affecting our life. So I opened my own radio. It's called Open Forum. And then one day I saw Mark. Who introduced you to me?
It's Edwin.
Huh?
Edwin.
Oh, Edwin Duterte. So I invited Mark, and then I liked Mark. I said, boy, I need this guy, you know, because he's courageous and he can just say whatever he wants. Why need him? So if they come here and they want to put me in jail, I'll say, hey, wait a minute, talk to Mark first. So I went ahead and texted Mark, and I said, Mark, would you like to be my co-host? You know, and so Mark is now my permanent co-host in my radio show every Monday. Every Monday. And if you will notice on your table, I went ahead and put some cards. You know, please, if you want to be a guest, this is our show. You can be a guest. I will interview you, and you just say whatever you want against those doggone devils. But one thing I
said it might not be legal.
Yeah, it's freedom of speech.
Yeah, it's a freedom of speech. Well, the thing that I want you all to know is that this PHLV radio, there's also a piece of right there, if you don't mind. Rachel, get this. Thank you so much. This PHLV radio, this is the first big Filipino radio station in Las Vegas. And so if you want to have your own radio show, and I meant that, you give me a call and I will talk to the owner of the radio station, Mr. Johan Seisen. And it's free. Do you know that? I don't pay. But we have a platform whereby you can call and just, hey, have it all. But the only thing I don't like to do is every month I have a luncheon with my people, with my staff, and I told them, please be respectful. I don't want them to curse, no bad words. You know what I'm saying. You know, I don't want to be in jail.
Yeah, you don't want to be on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't want to be on Facebook. But anyways, like I said, this is our platform and everything. Do you still want me to go to my immigration?
So immigration is up now right now?
Mark said, share my immigration, how I came to the United States. Anyways, you know, in the Philippines, we're Catholic, right? I mean, almost 99% Catholic, really. And you know, when you're Catholic, you get married and you get a divorce. That's it. You can have it. You cannot have another husband. You can be a girlfriend of another man. Anyways, if you see, wait a minute, let me see. Okay. Okay, anyway, this is my husband right now, Fred Harrison. That is not Joko's father. You know, I have 3 husbands. Bad. Way to go, though. Way to go. You get married 4 times. Hey, go at it. Anyways, my first husband is a Filipino. I have 2 biological children with my Filipino husband. And right now, my son is 58 years old. Unfortunately, when he was young, he was engaged in drugs. And there is nothing I could do about it. At first, I was really affected by it, and my therapist said, my psychiatrist said that, what can you do? Tell me. If there's something you could do, I tell you continue. But if there's nothing you can do in any problem, no sense spending your time. So I went ahead and forget it, and I just let it go. That is the life that he chose. I have no control of that. So my son is now in the group home over at Vancouver, Washington. And so far he's doing good because he's able to take his medication. And he has schizophrenia. Schizophrenia, yeah. So anyways, that's his life. But I have my daughter who is married to a corporate lawyer in Las Vegas. And she is a great singer. But she is not like Joe Coy. Joe Coy will do anything he can to make money. But he is very, very persistent, my son, Joe Coy. I could not fathom that he could be a millionaire. I'm serious. And I know you guys can do a Google check anyways. My son is worth, from $5 in his bag, he's worth $5 million right now. Wow. And I'm so proud of him. He always used me in his jokes. Yeah. Always. And you know what? Majority of his jokes are true. But you know how it is when you are a comedian. You have to spice up your jokes because you don't want to deliver a dry joke because it could just fly right there, and you know. But anyways, I told my son, you know, you make money out of me, you've got to give me some royalties here.
A true capitalist.
Right, you know. So he didn't say anything. But if you would remember the first time he had that Netflix,
Yes.
They told him that they are full already. They are complete for the year. They cannot accept his show. So what he did is he just produced it, and he told Netflix, here's my tape. Wow. Just buy it from me and you're done. Wow. Whatever royalties you get from that, I don't care, but just buy it from me. I don't know how much it was bought out from my son. I don't know. The only thing I could share with you is that he called me that night and he said, Mom, how much is your mortgage? And I cried because I was really just teasing him a few months ago. I said, you could at least pay my mortgage. And when he had that Netflix, he paid my mortgage. And I'm just so proud to say that because it put me in such a financial status that I cannot thank my husband so much, my son so much about that. It's just tremendous how great it was. You know, I don't know anymore where I am in my speech. I'm going from one area to another. I don't even know what I have.
I just put up the slide.
Oh, you just put up the slide.
You can see Joe.
I just want you to know, some people say, where did Joe get that? You know, well, I'll share with you that my mother is a very beautiful Filipina. She was an actress in the Philippines, not a star role, but you know, a supporting role. But she is so beautiful, like me. Beautiful, beautiful lady, you know. And anyways, these are some of the pictures in YouTube with Joe Coy. You know, I was being interviewed and everything, you know, and I am just proud of my son, because when he was just starting in Las Vegas, he told me, "Mom, I don't have money." I said, "Well, who does have money?" "I don't either." You know? So anyways, he said, "Please help me." There is a theater in Las Vegas. It's an old theater. It's called Huntridge Theater. He said, "Mom, please help me." So I said, "Okay." I have a lot of friends, professional friends. So I made a souvenir program. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You see this page? You know, this is expensive. I have a printing, I have a friend who owns a printing press. And one page like this is very expensive. Well, like I said, I don't have money. So I get the 8 by 11 paper, right? I went to all my friends. I got their business card. I enlarged them as big as the 8 1/2, 11, right? And I made a souvenir program. I put a 2 hole on the side, and I put a ribbon, black ribbon, and I have a souvenir program, right? No capital engaged, nothing. So I went to my doctors, all my professional friends, and they said, "Josie, that you did not spend money on that. So how can I pay you $100? You know, I said, "Do you want to help Jerkoy? I give you free tickets." You see, I got almost $2,000 without capital, and so I gave it to my son.
Wow. What an investment.
Yeah. Okay, do we have our next slide?
This one, community service.
You see, I am the past district governor of Lions Club. For the benefit of those people who wants to know what is Lions Club, Lions is for the blind of the universe. We support them from glasses, from their, if they need a cataract operation or something, we provide them with financial to go to where they have to go. Usually from Las Vegas, I come to California. You have a lot of specialists here, and we send them, we help them with that. And so I was the second high ranking of the District 46 of Lions Club International. I'm so proud to share that with you. My year was 2015 to 2016. I was the governor. And I love to dance. And now I cannot dance anymore. With this situation, I hope I can.
Try some of Andy's stuff.
I hope I can get rid of this.
Yeah, you'll be dancing soon.
Yeah, for now. But anyways, if you will see this, that lady in red, she is a doctor, and I don't know if anybody knows Jing Espiritu.
Oh,
Have you heard of that name? He is a very good community leader. He just passed on about a few months ago. But we love, this is a manager in the Las Vegas Water District in Las Vegas. And you can see how pretty I am. That's me.
Oh.
I'm imitating Cher.
Oh no.
And so, anyways, I love to dance. We always show programs like this. We're always a part of the program. Anyways, I was active in Lions. I always help them sell tickets. Here I am. What is this? Community service. I went to Payatas in the Philippines. Payatas is an area in the Philippines whereby the livelihood of that particular place is getting recycled item from the garbage.
Oh, gosh.
It's already garbage. They will dig into it, get recycled items. That's how sad this place is. So yeah, so I went ahead and got 500 backpacks, and I filled it up with anything they need in the elementary school, you name it. Crayons, sharpeners, pencils, papers, scissors, whatever. It's in that bag. And I distributed it to 500 students. This one is the Cancer Society. I'm also a board of director in the Cancer Association in Virginia. And I went to the place. These are the students or the kids that have cancer. And oh, I love it because they love me. They told me I'm so pretty. I said, thank you.
That's what you want to hear.
Yeah.
You are so pretty, Josie.
It's so nice. Yeah. So, you know, this is all the cancer kids in the province. I flew in the province and I went ahead and donated money also in that place. It's all Joko's money and my money too. So, yeah. So, do we have an?
Yeah, and then you want to talk about these slides here, these images, Josie?
Oh, you know, when in the Philippines, you know, I came from a family of not rich people, but we are kind of well-to-do a little. My aunt, the eldest sister of my mother, is married to a Chinese people, Gregorio Tong. And when I got pregnant, when I was in high school, I didn't graduate, but I was a candidate for graduation. But you know, during the time, you know, when you did something nasty, you're embarrassed and all of that. Not like now, I don't care if I'm pregnant. Yeah, I'm pregnant, so what? Right? But before, oh, I'm so embarrassed, you don't do that, right? And that's what happened to Josie Harrison at that time. So instead of walking, taking my diploma, I don't want to go to graduation because I'm so embarrassed. But anyways, my aunt, who is married to that Chinese, went ahead and gave me a job in her own factory in San Juan, Rizal. And I just want to take these pictures of the products that I was handling. If you remember Elephant Catol, the factory of that is in San Juan. The Tancho Tig is for the hair. The Ligo Sardines, we are the sole distributor of Ligo Sardines in the Philippines. Alaska brand milk, do you remember that? Any old Filipinos? I'm 73 years old. Do you remember that, Mike? Yeah, Alaska brand, remember? Okay, my aunt is the sole distributor of that Alaska brand. Ovaltine, remember Ovaltine? My uncle is the sole distributor of Ovaltine in the Philippines. Okay, what is this? This one. Kaminomoto, remember? Whoever is bold. That's what you need, Kaminomoto products. Yeah, those are the products of my aunt. And because I was the niece, of course, I become the supervisor of the warehouse. Even though I don't have that much education, I was only high school then, I was already a supervisor. I learned how to mix, one more product that we have is oak barrel seasoning. Have you guys heard of that? It is like vetchin. Vetchin is Ajinomoto. Yeah, remember that? Okay, in the Philippines, we have that product. It's called oak barrel food seasoning. Now, we have a big tank in that warehouse, and we mix it. You know, the monosodium glutamate, this and that. I did that. I learned how to do that. And then we have, it is being packed in bottles. I learned how to put labels in the bottle because there's a small machine. You put your feet in there. Now hold on to me, I might fall. And then you get the bottle, right? And you put it there. That's how you put the label on the bottle. Really, you learn. You mix the monosodium. Those are all dry ingredients. You know, the powder and everything. You just mix it in this real big, what they call the tank mixture. And there's somebody, a chemist there, who's teaching me how to mix it. But that's how I learned skills. Even though I was not a college student, I did. One more thing I wanna share with you. Our office in the Philippines, I don't know if you would remember the First National City Bank. Mike, do you remember that, Mike Pistano? It's across the PLDT in Escolta. Remember that big building? Our office is on top there at the 6th or 7th floor. Okay, I learned how to work and send telex. You know how telex was being sent before? You know, you step there and you type and it goes, a huge machine. That's how I learned. That's how I learned. Early in my life, I learned how to do all these things. So, you know, passion, advocacy, education. You know, if you can go to school and learn more, there's a never ending, you know, to learn anything. So that is my advice to you.
That's how you immigrated here, right?
Yeah, I become a banker, a manager of the bank. I manage 7 employees. You name it, from teller to supervisor to personal banker. I was the manager. And I only have associate degree in business. But if you want to learn, you bring that manual home. And at the time, I call it manual. And Joseph said, Mom, it's not an annual. It's manual. I don't care. It's the same thing, manual. So anyways, I just want to share with all of you my last thing about, am I done with my slides?
Well, you have Josie the Conservative.
Oh, Josie the Conservative. Right, because, oh, let me first show you my husband. You know, my husband was a retired 22 years in the Army. And then 21 days with the post office. No, not 21 days, 21 years. So yes, we have 2 pensions. Anyways, the only thing that I don't like what happened to my husband is that he was shot twice in Vietnam. When he retired from the post office, he got pneumonia twice. And during his time, he smoked a lot. And I mean smoke. And my husband was a drinker, a chaser. You know what a chaser is? You drink, what is his drink? Johnny Walker, black? Oh my God, is this being taped? We better not show this to my husband. Oh my goodness. Yeah. A chaser is you take your Johnny Walker and you follow it up with a beer. Wow. And my husband loved to drink during his time. We had a fight almost every day. I want him to stop. I didn't marry him with our first 8 years because I don't like that kind of living. I'm not used to that. You know, I want a husband that you can talk to, this way of talking to you to the end, but not this way and then a different person and then a different person, if you know what I'm trying to say. I cannot do that. If I have to live alone and work on my own, I will do that. But anyways, he changed, so please don't tell my husband, anybody here, don't you ever call 702-5564. Anyways, so there he is. Anyway, conservative. At first, no, don't do that. Anyways, before, when I was here in United States, I didn't vote because I was so much concerned about my life. You know, I have a problem with my eldest son with drugs. I'm so concerned on that, and I'm working 2 jobs. You know, I just don't have time for voting. I just wait whoever won. I had no knowledge of what the difference between a Democrat and a Republican, and I could care less at the time. I didn't know. I did not vote. But during this time, I've been hearing things, changes in the way our government is. Our children being what is that word? There you go, thank you. You know, and I just can't stand it anymore. And the introduction of this particular religion, Sagria law, whatever, whereby 9 or 10 years old can be a wife to, have you heard of that? Sharia law. Have you guys heard of that? Right. I cannot, I said, no way. And then I see all these illegals coming in the United States, having all the privileges out of our tax money, you know, being supported, being given money, everything. They just come here and they got everything. You know, we have a lot of vets, we have a lot of senior citizens not getting all these benefits, but they do. They are being prioritized for what they need to survive in our country. And then when they know better, they become like these three, oops, I better not call them. They become like these three people that they think they know better than Americans. You know, I'm sitting down there in my living room and I'm listening today, and especially this particular one. Cursing my president. Mother of you know what. Really? You came to our country, a country that gave me all the opportunities in life, a country that gave me everything that I need to be somebody in my life, and then you come here and you call my president that? Really? That is when I start becoming a conservative. I don't know if Representative Chris, sir, I know we have a lot of problems, sir, but this is my opinion only, as Josie Harrison. Our election is being manipulated, correct me? Manipulated, there you go. See, remember, I didn't graduate bachelor's degree. Anyways, our election is being manipulated by fraud and cheating. Sir, we can do gatherings like this. We can have 500 people in a meeting, but when the illegals are coming in 1,000 per day, there's no way we can win. Because the dictation of who will govern us are the people that will be elected. And these people that are coming in are the voters. So I think I would like to appeal to you, sir, that I think our main problem now is to control the election laws. You know, ID should be required. Yes. Number of being a citizen should be required. You shouldn't be able to vote if you just came to America 6 months ago. Yes. I don't think so. So I think that is our main problem, sir, is the election. Because we can get everybody in a rally like this, but like I said, the influx of illegals, 1,000 a day, really? Those are the people that will dictate our future in the government, because they will go out there and vote. And we want to control that, sir. You know, ID should be a requirement. You know, they can only vote in the district where they live. They cannot live in District 7 and vote in District 12, District 9, District 10. I don't think so. And also the people that are manning the polling polls should be divided into our Republicans or Democrats. If they have 6 representative Democrats, we should have 6 representative Republicans. I think that is our main problem, sir. It is the people that are voting, because that dictates who wins, right, sir? We have to stop the registry of the dead people. They cannot vote. How can you vote if you're daggone dead? You know, so, you know, am I done with my...
Yeah, but thank you.
So remember these faces. Oh, I want to hit their face. She fell. There you go. Thank you so much.
Because I want to bring up Noel Parrish, who is in such a beautiful Filipiniana dress tonight. And I want us to take a picture. She is the wife of our assessor here in Orange County, Claude Parrish. This is, I guess, the first lady of Orange County, at least on the tax side. But look at this beautiful dress. And Noel, say a few words.
Excuse me. Excuse me. I am not done yet with Mark. I forgot. Mark, I want to give you something from Joe Coy.
Oh, gosh. Oh my goodness! He knows how much I love bubbleheads. Oh my God!
And here's a book about the history of Joe Boy.
Thank you, Josie. Thank you. I love you. Let's all take a picture here. And Noel, you want to say a few words?
I'd love to. The reason that I'm involved with the Filipino community and a secret, silent supporter of Mark, as so many of us are here, is that when Claude was on the Board of Equalization, he found out about an investment that the Philippines was going to lose, and he saved it. And as a result of that, we were invited to the Philippines, and he received, Claude Parrish did, an honorary doctorate from Bulacan University. And at that time, I was introduced to the Filipino community. They also awarded me with the Filipino jewelry, which I'm very proud of. And so I love the Filipino community, and that's why we're here. A good politician always puts the people first.
Yeah, just like Chris Smith here. So thank you, Chris, for being here. And I just love a picture with all of us here. Let's come in. You know, Lonnie, if you could take it, just because of this beautiful Filipino dress here. And
Mark always asks me to wear this.
yeah, I always ask her to wear it because I find it's hilarious that a white woman is wearing like that. And then you got the Filipino woman in a white dress. Is this cultural appropriation? I don't know. We got to ask that question, right? But Congressman, if you could come up and join us for a picture too, that'd be great. Congressman, yeah, thank you so much. And you guys eat and be merry and check out the raffle items, okay?
Here, picture here. Got it.
Thank you, thank you. All right, thank you so much. Do we all look like we have the screen on our face?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, so maybe we should, Noel, why don't you come back real quick? Yeah.
Put it on.
Noel, come back real quick. Yeah, yeah, turn it off, please. Just turn off the projector. Thank you. I think that's much better, so we don't look like we have words on our face. Yeah. Come on, Josie.
As long as God bless America.
Chris, yeah, come on in. Yeah, I think that first picture was terrible.
Okay. Here. 1, 2, 3. Here.
Josie, look over there.
1, 2, 3.
The yellow camera.
Got it.
Thank you so much. Thank you, and eat and be merry. There's still lots of food. I see leftovers.